Picture this. It's the summer of 2025. You've been planning this trip for months, your bags are perfectly packed, you get to the airport with plenty of time to spare, and you are ready for that vacation. You confidently step up to the TSA checkpoint, hand over your trusty Indiana driver's license, and boom, you're denied boarding. No flight for you. Why? Simply because your ID is missing one tiny but absolutely crucial detail. It sounds like a total nightmare scenario, but for thousands of travelers, this is going to become a reality very, very soon. Welcome to this explainer where we're going to make sure that doesn't happen to you. Okay, let's just get right into it. That tiny detail you're missing, it's a little gold star sitting up there in the top right corner of your license. That star is what signifies a real ID. Without it, your standard driver's license literally won't be enough to get you through federal security checkpoints anymore. But don't panic. Today, I am going to be your personal guide through a highly actionable, step-by-step journey to seamlessly securing your real ID right here in the state of Indiana. So, here is our game plan. We're going to cover the fast-approaching deadline, exactly how to gather your documents, what it'll cost you, how to handle scheduling at the BMV, and finally, getting that official credential in your hands. All right, kicking things off with part 1, the Real ID deadline. Fun fact, the Real ID Act was actually passed way back in 2005 to establish some stricter national security standards. But after years of extensions, the Department of Homeland Security has finally drawn a line in the sand. So listen closely. By May 7th, 2025, standard IDs won't fly, literally, for domestic travel or entry into secure federal facilities unless you have an alternative, like a passport. And if you're thinking, I'll just deal with it later, well, I'd strongly reconsider. Starting February 1, 2026, the TSA is rolling out a Confirm ID program. That means if you show up without a compliant ID, you're going to be forced into a lengthy verification process. And you'll have to pay a non-refundable $45 fee just to get to your gate. Getting this done now saves you time, money, and a massive amount of stress. Moving right along to part 2, gathering your documents. Treat this phase like your pre-flight safety checklist. You absolutely must bring original physical documents that cover 4 specific categories. First up, identity. You need one document here, like an unexpired U.S. passport or a certified state birth certificate. Second is lawful status in the U.S. Now, for most citizens, this is actually covered by that same passport or birth certificate you used for identity. Third, you need one document showing your full 9-digit social security number. Think your actual social security card, a W-2 form, or a pre-printed pay stub. And lastly, Indiana residency. You'll need 2 printed documents proving where you live, like a utility bill or a recent bank statement. Now, I want you to pay super close attention here, because this is where so many people trip up, and the BMV is notoriously strict. First off, they will completely reject a hospital-issued birth certificate. No exceptions. It has to be a certified copy from a state or territory office of vital statistics. Second, when proving your residency, your documents have to show your physical street address. P.O. boxes are an absolute no-go. Oh, and those bills or statements you bring, they must be dated within 60 days of your BMV visit. And yes, you have to bring physically printed copies. You cannot just show them a PDF on your smartphone. Got a recent name change, maybe from getting married or divorced? Well, here is a massive insider tip for you. If your current legal name is different from what's on your birth certificate, you have to update your name with the Social Security Administration first. And here's the real kicker. You have to wait at least 1 full business day after doing that before you step foot in the BMV. The BMV uses real-time verification databases that link directly to the SSA. If you rush it and don't wait, their system is going to flag a mismatch, and they'll have no choice but to send you home empty-handed to start all over again. Okay, on to part 3, fees and payment methods. I am so happy to bust a major myth for you right now. A standard driver's license for an applicant under age 75 in Indiana costs exactly $17.50. And guess what? There is absolutely 0 extra premium charged by the state just to add that Real ID gold star. The compliant credentials cost the exact same as the old non-compliant ones. Pretty great, right? And if you're between 75 and 84, it's just $11. And for folks 85 or older, it drops down to $7. When it's time to settle up at the counter, you've got a few options. You can go old school with cash or a check made out to the Bureau of Motor Vehicles. Or you can just swipe a debit or major credit card. But just a quick heads up, using plastic does trigger a statutory government processing fee. It's 40 cents plus 2.06% of the transaction value. It is a tiny amount for sure, but hey, nobody likes surprise fees, so it's always better to know before you pull out your wallet.
Moving into part 4, scheduling and the actual BMV experience.
Let's be real. Nobody goes to the BMV to hang out and stand in line. So please, don't just walk in hoping for the best. Use the Indiana BMV's online telegov system to book an appointment. You can do this anywhere from 2 to 14 days in advance. And if you want the absolute quickest trip, the data shows the sweet spot is midweek, Tuesday through Thursday, early in the morning right after they unlock the doors. Plan to get there about 10 minutes early. And whatever you do, try to avoid Mondays, Fridays, the days right around federal holidays, and the midday lunch rush, because that's when it gets chaotic.
So you've checked in and you're at the counter. The process from here is practically a science. The rep is going to physically inspect and scan your pristine stack of original documents into their secure system. Then you'll take a quick standard vision screening right there at the desk. Next up, smile, because they'll be taking a fresh, high-resolution biometric photo of you for the new credential. And finally, you hand over your old non-compliant ID. Quick note, though, if your old license has been expired for more than 180 days, you might actually have to take a written knowledge test again, so definitely make sure your current ID is still active.
Which brings us to our final section, Part 5, Receiving Your Credential.
Spoiler alert, you do not walk out of the BMV with a shiny new plastic card. Instead, they'll hand you a paper interim credential and give you all your original documents back. Now, this paper license is perfectly valid for 30 days for driving around and basic age verification. But, and this is a huge but, the TSA will absolutely not accept this temporary paper document to let you board an airplane. It simply doesn't have the high-tech security features they require. Your actual permanent card is manufactured off-site at a highly secure facility. Normally, that permanent real ID gets sent to you via USPS first-class mail and shows up at your house in about 2 weeks. But let's say you totally procrastinated and your flight leaves in 3 days. Don't panic just yet. Indiana offers an express credential service. For a $25 surcharge, they will prioritize your application and overnight your ID via FedEx for next business day delivery, complete with a tracking number. It's a total lifesaver if you find yourself in a major pinch. Real quick, before we wrap this up, I've got to drop a quick professional disclaimer. We all know how bureaucracy works. Rules, document checklists, and fees can sometimes shift without much warning. While we've just covered all the comprehensive steps to get you squared away, it's always a smart move to quickly check the official in.gov website right before you start digging through your filing cabinets, just to make sure you're working with the most current info. All right, so with that May 2025 enforcement deadline practically breathing down our necks, the time for procrastinating is officially over. Get into those files, gather up your 4 document categories, and go book that midweek appointment. Because when you're finally standing at that TSA checkpoint next summer, the only tough decision you should be making is what movie you're going to watch on the plane. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. And hey, safe travels out there.